And Rice is just whipped home right-footed from the edge of the penalty area into the far corner. Arsenal guaranteed Champions League football next season.
Amazing sporting weekend, wasn't it? Palace's first cup win, Everton playing the last game at Goodison, Jamie Vardy scoring on his final appearance for Leicester after 13 years. Scotty Scheffler, of course, winning the USPGA. Arsenal confirming Champions League football for next season with a 1-0 win over Newcastle. And afterwards, Mikel Arteta was asked about new signings for the club.
We are showing incredible consistency when you look at the numbers we've been producing in the last 3 seasons in the Premier League. Normally, you should have a Premier League or two, like others have with less points than us. But we have to be there, and I know that a lot of people doesn't want us there. Fortunately, we are there, and we're going to continue there. And we want better because we want to win, and that's the next step. But with enthusiasm, because as I said, make sure that we value as well what we are doing, because the tendency and intention of some people will be to throw that out of the window, and we must be very disciplined not to do that.
To talk about this and more, football writer and broadcaster Henry Winter. Morning, Henry.
Good morning, Henry.
Jeff. Morning, Ali. How are we? What a weekend.
Yeah, what a
Tremendous,
weekend.
tremendous, Henry.
That was a very public appeal to the board, wasn't it, from Mikel Arteta after that game against Newcastle?
It was a public appeal to the board, and it was echoed in advance by Josh Kroenke, the co-chair, who's the sort of power behind the throne of his father at Arsenal, in his programme notes beforehand, when he basically said, we will invest. He backed Mikel Arteta, quite rightly, and now they have to sort of show that backing financially. And, I mean, it's interesting hearing Mikel there in your interview. I mean, these are issues which you two know well. Everyone on talkSPORT's been discussing. Everyone seemingly on the country's been discussing. They've needed a number 9 for sort of 3 years. So this is not a sort of huge revelation that they're chasing Victor Gyökeres. Obviously, Martin Zubimendi is coming into midfield. There are issues over the future of sort of Thomas Partey. Jorginho is obviously heading off back to Brazil to Flamengo. So, you know, it is going to be a summer of change. But the key thing is addressing that number 9 issue, which Gyökeres will if they can negotiate with Sporting.
Henry, here's a question for you, and Jeff asked me the same question. Where are you this season with Arteta and Arsenal? Jeff asked me, have they taken a step back, have they taken a step forward, or have they stood still? Where would you say, mate?
It's a really good question. I mean, they had the run in Europe, which was good, but a lot of it has been predicated on the brilliance of Declan Rice. You saw it again yesterday. Since the start of March, he's been Arsenal's most important player.
Yes.
He's carried the team. He is the captain without the armband. Ødegaard is a beautiful player, but he doesn't hurt teams enough. Declan Rice hurts them. You're seeing there with, I mean, yesterday there was obviously a tactical tweak at half-time. Lewis Skelly moved more into midfield, so Rice could sort of move further forward, and that paid off within 8-10 minutes with the goal. Have they developed? I mean, probably not this season. Certainly not. I mean, whatever Mikel says about previous points totals would have won them the title. Well, that's irrelevant. I'm probably quicker now than I was when I was 4. But that doesn't actually necessarily guarantee you trophies. So yeah, it's that number 9 issue. You just talk to Arsenal fans and they're just sort of banging their head against the wall. Why the club didn't address it earlier? Because it's been a constant issue, as you know.
Just want to touch on Palace with you, Henry. I mean, a fantastic day for them. Fantastic run in the cup as well, and of course, Oliver Glasner gets a lot of credit. But I think one of the other things at Palace is the recruitment there has been spectacularly good. When they've sold Elise and Anderson, and you look at the players they brought in, and you thought, Sarr, really? Lacroix, Kamada, and maybe feared the worst, but my goodness, how well has it turned out?
And why didn't more people go for Adam Wharton? I mean, you've seen what a player he is. I mean, he was, £19 million? I mean, my Blackburn Rovers friends have been raving about him for a while, and I've been going, Adam who? And then he steps into to Palace. Credit to Dougie Friedman and his scouting network, his own judgment, and also to an owner in Steve Parish. I know you've had him on the programme many times. He's actually a pretty good judge of players, which is not something you can normally say of owners. It's not their area of expertise, but Parish loves the club. He's a good judge of players, and he's been absolutely vindicated. And it's not simply the ones you've mentioned. Mateta, what was Mateta? So like 11 million quid.
Yeah.
Gay as well, released by Why Chelsea give it another chance?
Munoz, what was Munoz? He was something ridiculous, 8.5 million.
Yeah,
exactly. And what's he worth now? I mean, I think some people had him as man of the match even in the cup final. I mean, I think Dean Henderson, they took a chance on him. Dean Henderson, if he was at Manchester United now, would get in ahead of Andre Onana, who cost 50 odd million. So look, they recruit well, but they've also got a coach who makes good players better. And he also, and another nod to Manchester United, he makes that 3-4-2-1 system work beautifully.
Henry, thank you very much indeed.
Have a great week, Henry.
Pleasure. Have a good week. Cheers.
Koshi, just quickly, Anil in the West Midlands says he's an Ibrox supporter for over 40 years. What are your thoughts on Ancelotti Jr. possibly being in the Ibrox hot seat? I think more significantly, what are your thoughts about Barry Ferguson leaving? Was that inevitable?
I think it was, Jeff. I publicly said I think Barry, I genuinely believe Barry did a good job getting in, steadying the ship. I always felt new ownership would want to go in another direction and a new man would come in. But I would thank Barry for his efforts and his staff, I really do. He played the cards he was dealt, and I think I thought he really handled himself really well. Jeff, interviews and things like that, I do. It was a very, very difficult job for him, not his players, and he did well. But I always felt there was an inevitability about a new man coming in. I don't know. I would be lying if I said you know an awful lot about David Ancelotti other than the obvious. But he's obviously been with his dad a long, long time. He feels now's the time to get out himself. Yeah, I don't have a problem. But I go into it with an open mind, mate.
An open mind, yeah. Times have changed. By the way, I noticed that the club was saying this week that talks about a new manager are progressing well. Well, it's been 3 months. Yeah. 3 months since the last manager left. How long do you need to make your mind up, boys?
Well, the only thing I would say, Jeff, is there's no point in appointing a new manager if there's new owners coming in. So I would suggest that the delay has been due to the fact that there's a potential change in ownership, and clearly once the new owners come in, they want to appoint their own man.
And I get that completely, but equally, you really want a manager in place who can take a look at the squad.
But stability,
Yeah, and decide who he wants to keep and who he wants to bring in. But whoever comes in's not going to have that liberty, unfortunately, from their point of view. Coming up next, we'll turn our attention to Nottingham Forest and what is an absolutely enormous game against Chelsea coming up next weekend. We'll discuss that next.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.